Okay, we are moving on to lesson 84. We're talking about selecting an appropriate rational number. And our objective is right here. Okay? So we got two examples. So look at the first one. Example A, how much is 40% of 1/2 of $12.60? So basically what we want to do is figure out, is it going to be easiest to solve this problem by converting everything to percentages, or by converting everything to decimals, or everything to fractions to multiply all these together? And the reason I know we're going to multiply is because of the words of here. Okay? So basically for A, what I want to figure out is 40% times 1/2 times $12.60. Well, percentages are never really easy to multiply together, so we're going to cross that one out automatically. So we want to know, is it going to be easiest to convert these to fractions or to decimals and multiply them all together? Well, this one wouldn't be too bad to use as decimals all around, because I know this decimal really easily. It's 0.4. This one is 0.5, and this one's already a decimal. So since these are decimals that stop and are easy to figure out, okay, we're going to go ahead and use the decimal form on these. So we're going to do 0.4 times, it's 0.5 times $12.60. And we're just going to multiply them all together. So 0.4 times 0.5, 4 times 5 is 20, and I need two decimal places. So it's 0.20, or just 0.2. And then I'm going to multiply that by $12.60. So $12.60 times, and that's 0.2 or 0.20 is the same thing. Okay. Well, 0 times 2 is 0, 6 times 2 is 12, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and then 2 times 1 is 2. And I need 1, 2, 3 decimal places, so that goes right here. So I got 2.520. Now I want to make sure I write my answer as money, so I need 2 decimal places here. So it's going to be about $2.52. Okay. Now for B, we're figuring out 66 2/3% of 5/6 of $12.60. Okay? Well, on this one, we're going to want to use the fraction mode, okay? Because this would give us a repeating decimal, which isn't going to be easy to multiply by. This also gives us a repeating decimal, not easy to multiply by. So we want to make these all in fraction form. Okay? So the first thing I need to do is convert everything to fractions. So 66 2/3%. Okay? We need to figure out what that is as a fraction. So I'm going to take 66 times 3 plus 2 and figure out what that is first. Okay, well 66 times 3, that's 18, carry the 1, that's 18, 19. So that's 198 plus 2 is 200 over 3. And it's percent, so that means we multiply it by 1 out of 100. So this becomes 2, and this becomes 1. And on top we've got 2 times 1, which is 2, all over 3. So that is 2/3 as a fraction, times 5/6 for this one, times, now $12.60. Okay, that's the same as 12 and 60 over 100. Okay? Or 12 and 6/10. Which is also the same as 12 and 3/5 as a reduced fraction. Okay? So basically now we need to convert this to a fraction, just a top and a bottom number. So $12.60. Again, we took to 12 and 60/100ths, which is the same as 12 and 6/10, or 12 and 3/5. Well, 12 times 5 is 60, plus 3 is 63 over 5. Okay? Well, now we're just going to multiply all of these. So 2 times 5, multiplying across, 2 times 5, which is 10, times 63 is 630. over, and then on bottom, we got 3 times 6 times 5. Okay, well I know 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 times 3 is 90. Alright, so we got 630 over 90. Well, those can cancel out. And then 63 divided by 9, that is 7. Okay, so now all we need to do is make sure we write it like money again. So we're going to convert this now that we've made done all the math as fractions. We're going to convert this back to decimal form. So it's $7. Okay? So again, when we're dealing with numbers, like if we write them as decimals and they would stop, okay, we don't have repeating numbers, then it's easiest to multiply them out as decimals. But once we get something that would be a repeating number, we need to convert them to fractions and multiply them all out. Okay? Then stick it back in the form we are going to report it in. So in this case, money. Alright, let's look at one more example. Okay, example 2 says, in a public opinion survey, 180 of the 280 women surveyed agree or strongly agree with the mayor, while 150 of 275 men agree or strongly agree with the mayor. Which choice listed below is the most appropriate way to describe the results of the survey? And it says 9/14 of the women and 6/11 of the men agree with the mayor, so that's one choice that we have to report. Or we have these numbers as decimals to report, or we have percentages. Okay? Well, the decimal form is going to be out right away. Okay, because it doesn't make much sense to us. So we have to pick between the fractions and the percentages. Now, both of them have their pros. Okay? They have their good things about them. Percents are easy for us to understand. Okay? And give us a good idea. People are used to recognizing percentages. So this could be a good way to report it. The only bad thing about the percentages is that these are rounded. So this is really 64 point some percent, and this is really 54.5% or whatever it is. Okay, close to that. So it rounded up. Whereas these numbers are exact. These are reduced fractions up here. Okay? But in our heads, the fractions don't make as much sense when we are reporting these. So I would pick choice C. And I would say, because percents are the most understood way of reporting numbers. Okay? And again, another okay answer would be you could also say choice A, because the results are reported exactly. Okay, and they give us an exact number. But the only one I definitely wouldn't choose is choice B, because they're rounded. Okay, and also not only are they rounded, but the numbers themselves don't make as much sense as the percent does. Okay, I would take either one of those answers, but again, I think choice C is better since we typically report results as percentages. Alright, and that's your lesson. Good luck on the homework.